Welcome to Upper Body Fitness. We will start with a scripture verse from John 5:6. Welcome. When Jesus saw him and he knew he had been ill for a long time, he asked him, "Would you like to get well?" So that's our verse for today. Would you like to get well? That's the questions a lot of us have to ask ourselves. Part of the equation in getting well is doing things like good nutrition, good fitness, etiquette, not quit, showing up for these workouts and pushing yourself, making sure your strength is up, your cardiovascular is worked on. All those things are super important. So let's start ourselves off with a quick prayer. Heavenly Father, I just lift up your name right now. Lord, thank you for this time. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to do a fitness class that involves you as well as fitness. I just pray that you keep our bodies safe from all injuries and that you would just clear out any negative energy, any spiritual warfare that might be going on around us. Lord, I just pray that your presence would come upon us and just wipe all that out. I ask this in Jesus' holy name. Amen. All right. So for equipment today, all you're going to need is weights and then a mat. So that way there's going to be a lot of stuff on the ground. So you're going to want a mat. Now, if you have a nicer bench that your whole body can actually fit on, mine's so tiny. If you have a real bench, you could use that for a lot of our floor stuff. But if you don't have one, no worries. A lot of people probably don't. But yes, if you have one, go ahead and use it. All right, let's get warmed up. All right, step touch, big circles with the arms. Now, if your hands start to get really calloused, these gloves are pretty cheap. I got mine at Target. You can get them anywhere. They're great for just avoiding calluses. Switch. Switch it again. All right, crisscross. Cross in front, under, over. Switching each time. Welcome back to another day of upper body fitness. We are going to sculpt those muscles, push them to the brink, and then ask just a little bit more from them. All right, march it out and push it up. Woo! All right, we're going to push it wide. We're just doing the march to get that heart rate up with it. All right, push it back. Bend the elbows, push it back. If you can, give me a little step touch with it. I'll turn to the side, I go to the back so you can see what I'm doing. You don't need to go in a circle. Don't worry. All right, bicep curls. How are we gonna go? Wide, narrow, wide, narrow. Step and reach. Give me that twist to your torso here. With this twist, brace that core. All right, take those hands on those knees, bend it over, round up the spine. Exhale, push out the chest. Inhale, round up the spine. Exhale, push out the chest. Inhale, round it up. Exhale, push out the chest. Keep going here. Moving with that breath. Inhale for the up, for that stretch. Exhale for the release. Last one. Come to the edge of your mat. We're going to walk it down. Walk it out to the top of your mat. Come down to your knees. Hands go wide on the mat. Push it up. Give me one more. And then walk it back to your feet. All right, walk it back out. Back to those knees. Keep those arms narrow. 3 tricep push-ups. Last one. Push it up to a plank. I want you to tap it out in front. Tap it in. Tap it out. Tap it in. Tap in. That's it. If you need to, you can come down to your knees and tap in and out from here. If you can, though, be up on your knees or on your toes. All right, walk those hands back to the toes. Woo. Roll it on up. Roll those shoulders back. Roll them forward. All right, we're going to go swimming. Alternating those arms like you're going swimming in a pool. Excellent. You're pulling that water back with that hand. Reverse. Woo. All right, we're going to come here. Shrug those shoulders up. All right. Step touch it out. I'm just going to show you. Grab your heavier weight. I think I'm going to start with 15s for this one. Go to something fairly heavy for you. You can do this standing, or you can come down to like one knee, whichever is more comfortable for you. That weight's going to come up overhead. Just going to bend the elbow, straighten it on up. Overhead tricep extension. If that ever bothers you because maybe you have shoulder issues, just come to a kickback instead. Go. Down and up. I'm going to turn to the side. We're coming to the base of the neck and back, straighten up. Try to not let those elbows flail out too much. So I've seen this before where people's elbows are just like way out here. They don't need to be squeezed in super tight either. All right, I want you to check in with your core. Brace it up as if I were to come around throwing punches at your gut. That's what I want you to brace it up like. Imagine when you're fogging up a mirror. Rest. Those are the muscles I want you to brace. Imagine when you're fogging up a mirror. Those muscles, those deep ones, that's when I need you to brace up. All right, we're going to hold it down now for the second move. Bring it up, hold it down. We're holding it here. If you don't like holding static, you can always move through this. Just make sure it's nice and slow. We want this to be different than that first move. But if that does bother your elbows or your shoulders, anything like that, feel free. You can always move through it. Woo! And to think I almost grabbed a heavier weight. This is heavy enough. Woo! What was I thinking? We're almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. All right. Do me a favor. In between, bring out those arms, shake it out, let the blood keep flowing back into those limbs. Get ready because we're going to pulse. Feel free if you want to. For this last round, you can do a 3 up or maintain it down the whole time. Keep going. Pulse it out. And sometimes you might find that for the pulses, it feels a little bit harder. So you want to drop down to a lighter weight. That's okay. Woo! So you're about mid-range of the motion. 1 inch up, 1 inch down. That's it. Rest. Woo. All right, we're already on to the next move. We got hammer curls. All right, grab a heavy weight for you. Again, your heavy weight is not necessarily everyone else's heavy weight. Grab what's heavy for you. Those feet are gonna go hip distance apart, shoulders up, back, down. Brace that core. You're gonna bring it up, palms facing in, up to that collarbone. Bring it back down. I want you to focus on lifting and lowering that from the elbow, not allowing the shoulders to lift it up at all. All right, here we go. Really isolate that bicep. Feeling it on the inside of that arm. Really focus on that stability here. So too often, what I see with this move is people start to swing or their weights get too heavy, so they do this to get them up. Really focus on trapping that strength right here in that bicep.
3, 2,
1, and rest. Excellent. Second move, you have two options. You can hold it up and just hold that contraction, or you can just move through it nice and slow. I'll show both options. So if you're gonna move through it really slow, maybe count to 4 up, give it a quick little hold, and then 4 down. Or if you just want to focus on that contraction, just hold it here and really focus on squeezing that bicep. It's up to you, whichever one feels maybe more challenging to you today. Maybe you like having that movement in there. Maybe you like holding still. You can kind of do a little of both.
3, 2, 1.
And rest. All right, last one. You got two options again. It's pulsing here the whole time, or you can give it a 3 pulse and release. 3 pulse, release. All right, here we go. Option 1, 3, 2, 1, release. Option 2, hang out here. Give me that shaker weight. But it's still controlled. We're pulsing, we're bracing that core. Shoulders are back. That strength move is still isolated to those biceps. It's not in the shoulders. Where do you feel it? Check in with your body right now. Where does that heat feel like it's coming from?
3,
Biceps?
2, 1.
Woo! Rest. It's okay if you find that it's not in that bicep. You just gotta realign yourself and get back to where you're supposed to be. All right, next move, we're coming down to the mat. We've got skull crushers. Use this guy. So, you have two options. You can do one weight, bringing it to the forehead and straightening the arms, or use 2 weights. I'll show 2 weights first, just because I have 3 seconds left. All right, with 2 weights, same thing, you're bending the elbows, straightening them back up. So you can opt to hold it like you're holding a barbell and bring that barbell straight down, back, palms facing away. For me, I don't like how that feels. I prefer palms facing in. Still isolates my triceps. It just doesn't bother my elbow joint as much. So kind of play around with it and see what feels best for you. Rest. We're gonna do isometric next. So that's just that hold. Again, I'm always gonna give you that option. If you prefer to move through things, you don't like that isometric hold, you sure can just slow it down for me.
Isometric.
So if you're gonna hold it like me, those elbows are bent, your arm should make an L shape. I would recommend if you're using 2 weights to kind of hold them just a teensy bit outside of your head, just so if you lose your grip, you don't also lose your forehead. But if you're using a singular weight, just really make sure that grip is good. And if you need to release for a second, you release, come back up, and then come right back down. Try your best to stay down as long as you can, but sometimes you have to release. Rest. Woo! It'd be great to say we never have to release, right? But that's just life. All right, last round is gonna be pulses. So I'll be laying down, same thing, little 1-inch movement up and down. Here we go. Whew. That might mean my elbow just kind of locked out. Woo! All right, keep going. Make sure you're feeling it right through here, your tricep muscle. Check in with your body. See where you feel it. Woo. If you need to release for a few seconds and come back down, go ahead and do that. You can always do that 3 pulse and a lift, or keep it down the whole time. Rest. Woo! You guys are rocking it already. All right, stay on the ground for the next one. We've got lying dumbbell supination. Don't worry, that sounds like a lot of jumbled jargon. It's just laying here on your side, and you're gonna rest your elbow here with the arm that's above. It's just gonna flip that wrist up and down. Try not to be like lifting the elbow too much. It's gonna lift a little, but try to make it mostly in that wrist. You're gonna really feel this in your forearm as well. So you might find the weight you use for hammer curls is not the same weight you can use for this move. Excuse me. Simply because now you're engaging those forearms as well as that bicep. So there might not be the same level of strength there. This is a great exercise though for developing those forearms. They're important too, but they get left out a lot. Rest. Whew. All right, next one. Sense the flipping motion. We can't just hold it. We're gonna slow it down though.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Slow it down. So before we were here, now we're more slow and controlled. Check in. Where do you feel this? If you're not feeling it in that bicep, work on keeping that elbow down a little bit more. Keep breathing through it. It's a little tougher now that it's slower and because it's the second round. But keep fighting through.
2, 1.
Rest. Whew. All right, so what we're gonna do next is flip it as quickly as we can. We're not gonna actually pulse, we're just gonna speed it up. I gotta switch to something a little bit lighter. There we go. For the quick one, you might have to drop your weight down a little bit. I still want it to be a challenge, but you still need to be able to control it. You might feel this a little bit in those triceps too.
3, 2, 1.
Rest. Woo! All right, shake it out. Let that blood return to your hand. We are going to the other side next. All right, same thing on that other side. If you're finding that your elbow really peaks up a lot, lower that arm down a little bit so it has less room to move up. I'll show you what I mean. So if it's in closer here versus lower down. So you might need to lower that arm down a little bit. It might be up too high. You guys see what I mean? So if my hand is up by my chest versus down closer to my belly button. We want it closer to the belly button. You guys feeling this one? Woo! I sure am. You got this. Keep twisting. It's like you're twisting an rest. It's like you're twisting a, what are those called? An hourglass. You're flipping it up, flipping it down. This time though, you want to let some of that sand run out. See what I mean? Flip, let some of that sand run out. Flip, let the sand run out. So imagine you're literally holding an hourglass and you've got to let a few seconds of sand into the other side before you let it flip. Woo! Keep it going here. Trust the process. I know it's burning, but stick with it.
3, 2,
Rest. Woo. All right, for this last round, I'm going to choose to drop my weight down a little bit. You go ahead and stay where you're at if you want, but try to speed it up. Like you're trying to only let 1 grain of sand through in that hourglass. Woo! It burns so much. If it's burning for you, you're in good company. I'm sure you can see by my face that it's burning. Don't let that stop you though. There's so many reasons that you could stop, but you've got to choose the reason to keep going despite all those reasons to the contrary.
3, 2, 1.
Rest. Woo! All right, you made it through that one. We're going to kickbacks next. So grab a fairly heavy weight. So probably about the same weight you've been using for biceps, unless you know that your triceps are considerably more weak than your biceps. For me, I find that mine are fairly equal. So all we're gonna do, you're gonna hinge forward from the hip, slight bend in those knees. Elbows are gonna come up and in, kick it back, straighten it back up. So those elbows just act like a door frame, opening and closing. No swinging here. So if you need to slow it down a little bit, slow it down. If it ever gets too tough and you need a little break, give me a alternating singles. That's a great option to keep going without quitting. Whew. Are you noticing that even though it isolates those triceps, it's still working a lot of what we just worked? Whew. Sometimes when our muscles are really sore from the last move, that's when you start to realize, oh hey, these overlap a little bit. Whew. All right. Hold it up. So here's what I want. Hold it up as high as you can without dropping it down. All right, do me a favor, lift it up again. Don't lock out those knees. Lift it up again. If you need to move through it, you can. Lift it up though. Woo! Keep going. Keep breathing. I know it's burning. 3, 2, 1. it out. All right, pulses are next. I'm dropping down on my weight for sure for pulses. Here we go. Lift it up. Pulses. So come to that top level of the move and pulse. Still I rise. Let this song be your anthem. When the vultures are circling, telling your mind it's time to give up, that you can't finish that set, tell them you will still rise. Don't doubt it. Woo! 3, 2, 1. Rest. Woo! All right. We're going to give those tricep, biceps a little bit of a rest now. We're going to move towards shoulders, chest, back. Although you're going to find a lot of these moves still draw from those bicep, triceps. First move, palms facing you. Feet are going to be hip distance apart. You're going to pull it up to your chest line and back down. Upright row. Shoulders up, back down. Brace that core. Check in with that core. When you breathe out, imagine you're fogging up a mirror. Think of those muscles that contract when you're doing that, when you're really blowing all that air out. Those are the muscles I want you to engage. Those transverse abdominals. They aren't necessarily those pretty ones. They get all the attention, like the six packs, abs. Rest. But they are functional. They prevent those back injuries. Whew, don't mind me, got an itchy nose. All right, we're gonna hold this next one up. Here we go. Hold it here. You're gonna feel this in your shoulders. You're gonna feel this in your biceps. You might feel it a little bit in your chest. Hold it up. I want you to imagine there are tiny little puppies underneath your feet, and until that timer goes out, they aren't gonna move. So if you lower that weight, those tiny little puppies are gonna get squished by your weight. You gotta hold it up. Save the puppies. Everyone loves a cute puppy, right? Rest. All right, they moved. You can set it down. All right. Last one. We're gonna bring it up, hold, bring it down. Bring it up, hold, bring it down. Here we go. Bring it up, hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, drop. Bring it up, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and drop. Bring it up, 5, 4, 3, 2, drop. Bring it up, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bring it down. Bring it up, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Again, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and drop. Keep going. And rest. Whew. All right, we're gonna come down to the mat for the next one. We've got chest press. Remember, that one's when palms are facing away from you. Arms make a goal post, and they push up straight, come wide back into a goal post. Feel free, grab some water in between these moves. You got 40 seconds. If you ever want to do these on a ball, feel free to do that too. It's going to just challenge your core a little bit more. Take those arms wide. Push it straight up. Bring it wide. Push it up. Plus the benefit, if you're on a ball or inclined surface like a bench, you can come just a little bit lower with those weights before you push them back up. But doing them on the floor is perfectly still good. You will still feel that burn in your chest. So please do not fret. So wide and then narrow. Those weights don't need to tap each other. They're just coming up a little bit more narrow than the wide. And rest. All right, isometric hold for the next one. Love mercy. Whew. So what does that mean? You're just gonna hold it, hover above the ground.
Isometric.
If you don't like isometric and you like moving through things, your other option would just be to move it up for a count of 4 and hold. Bring it down for a count of 4 and then hold. I'm gonna hold isometric, but that is up to you which one you prefer to do. Some people really don't like these holds. If that's you, go ahead and move. Just do me a favor and make sure it's slow. And if you're holding here, check it out. My hand, my wrist, or not my wrist, my shoulders or arms are not touching the ground. Rest. They are hovering. So they're almost to the ground. They're just about to get that release, but then they're gonna stay right there and hold you up. All right, pulses. You either pulse at the bottom the whole time, or you can do 3, 2, 1, up. Up to you, which one you prefer. They're gonna work your chest a little differently if you're pushing up versus holding it down here. Do that one time for me. Do a couple pulses and then push it up. Notice how it feels a little bit differently than when you just hold it down here. So you get to choose if you want to pulse for 3, bring it up, or continuously pulse the whole time.
3,
2, 1, and rest. Woo! Hello, chest muscles. They are awake. All right, next move. I debated doing a lat pullover, but I get so nervous about doing lat pullovers because they're just so easy to do incorrectly. So we're gonna do a lat pull down. They don't quite isolate the lats as much, but they're a little bit safer. So it's gonna come up overhead. Option to pull one arm up, one arm down at a time, or you can do them together. And go. So option. So what we're trying to isolate is that back muscle here. You're obviously going to feel your shoulders as well because we're pushing up overhead. But we're trying to grab those big lat muscles.
3, 2, 1.
And rest. Whew. All right. We're going to do that again. I just want you to slow it down a little bit. Because this is a push-pull movement, we're not going to hold it. So come down nice and slow. Pull it up. Let's just slow down. Fast up. Slow down. Fast up. Oh, whew. You're doing great. Hang in there. Rest. Woo! All right. Last one, we're going to do the opposite. Down, slow up. Quick down, slow up. Quick down, slow up. Woo, these are tough. Keep going. Slow up. Rest. Woo! All right. I want you to grab light weights for these T raises. Check it out. This is what I'm using. 2 pounds. You don't need to go much heavier than that. If you want to go to 5s, that's okay. I could probably do these with 5s, but I'm going to use 2s. You're going to lay on the floor, palms facing the floor. You're just going to lift it up. Shoulder exercise here. We're really targeting those deltoids. You don't need anything heavy here. Here we go. Lift it up. And up. So try and keep that neck in line with the spine. So try not to arch the neck looking up at a TV screen. Try to just keep your head focused down on the floor for the entirety of this move. You don't want to strain your neck trying to get a look at what's going on. I promise I look exactly the same as you. I'm just lifting my arms up and down. Try not to drop your hands to the floor. Rest. So the temptation's going to be when you come down to just tap the floor and come up. Try and just hover it more. Or this next one, you're going to hover either way. We're just hovering in a T. Right now, you're trying out for the alphabets team as letter T. Letter T has to stay hovered above the ground. If you want the job, don't let those arms drop. Hey, I'm using 2 pound weights here, and they feel like 100 pounds right now. My arms are legitimately shaking. So if you've got something heavier than 2 pounds and it feels just excruciating, I understand. Don't give up though. Maybe that's all you have. That's okay. 2, 1, rest. I'm sure not everyone goes to the store and buys the pink 2 pound weights like I do. We got pulses next. Little pulses, that's it. So keep your T formation and pulse. Woo! Kind of like you're flapping your wings, except for your wings are straight. So there's really no bend in that elbow. I don't need you to lock the joint out, but it's not bent either. If that makes any sense to you, hopefully it does. Those shoulders should be burning by now. If they're not, keep pulsing and they will be. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Excellent job. I know that wasn't easy. We got chest flies, so we're going to come back to the ground. Grab a heavier weight. Maybe about what you used for hammer curls. Maybe even a little bit heavier than that. I can typically do more with my chest than I can do with my biceps, but that's going to be different for everybody based on your particular strength areas. I'm going to go with my big guys. We'll see if I can last through one round. Remember, arms go wide, palms facing each other. They push up to narrow, wide. So push that low back into the mat. Slight bend in that elbow. So this is not like that T-raise. Those elbows are definitely bent. Imagine it's like you're flapping your wings. You're coming down to the ground and then pulling it back up. Feeling that contraction and release in that chest. And rest. Woo! All right, get ready. Our next move is going to be that hold. So you're just hovering above the ground.
Arms are wide, elbows are bent.
Isometric.
Whew. So you have that option again to hover and hold, or maybe you like to move through it a little bit more, and hovering and hold is not your jam. Make sure you're challenging yourself here. So if what you're using doesn't feel very hard anymore, because maybe you've gained that strength you were trying to gain, feel free to add a little bit more resistance. All right, I'm going to try and hold for the rest of the time.
3,
2, 1. Woo! All right, the big guys are going away. We got pulses next. Oh, these are much lighter. Here we go. Little pulses, like you're flapping your wings. Woo! Feel that contraction in the chest. So there should be like a little squeeze going on in your chest. Check in with your core. I want you to fully brace it. Feel those inner abdominals, those deep ones, those ones connected to your spine. Brace those. Draw that belly button in towards the spine. Rest. Woo! Whew. All right, we got back flies coming up next. This is one I would recommend going a little bit lighter. Your lever length is increasing on this move. So like with that hammer curl, you got a pretty low lever length here. With back flies, it's pretty wide. So feet are hip distance apart. You're gonna bend those knees, hinge it forward, fly it open. Here we go. So I'm focused here. I'm bent forward, but I'm not I'm just hinged. I'm not scrunched. So don't let those shoulders fall forward. And you're just squeezing those shoulder blades together. I like to pretend like I'm catching something with them. Apparently on like an assembly line. Someone's just throwing something at you, and you got to keep catching it. Remember, these elbows are bent. Rest. So remember with that T-raise, they were straight. With these, just like the chest fly, they're bent. But unlike that chest fly, you're standing and you're hinged forward. Those knees are bent. Here we go. We're going to do the same thing. If you want to try and hold it up for a few seconds, you sure can. If that's not possible, that's okay. I understand. So feel this in the back side of your body. Really draw that belly button in. Stabilize that core.
3, 2, 1.
Rest. It takes practice, but you'll get the benefit of a stronger core if while you're doing these movements, you're drawing that core in and then bracing it up. All right, last time through, same thing. We're not going to pulse. You know how I feel about pulsing with the back. I know I've done it before, but I always regret it later. Like, I just think that was a bad idea, so I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to show you my back. Check in where you feel this. Do you feel it on the back side of your body? I feel weird standing backwards like that. Rest. Whew. All right, we're going to an Arnold press next. So this is shoulders. Whew. So you may want to go a little bit lighter. You might be okay with whatever weight you were using for that back fly. So the arms are gonna come, see here, they're kind of making an L shape in front, like through your new sunglasses. Then you're gonna open it up, flipping those wrists. So now the wrists are facing away from me. Then I'm gonna push it up overhead, bring it back down, flip the wrist in for my sunglasses. Here we go. Sunglasses, goalpost, overhead. Goalpost flip, sunglasses, flip goalpost, overhead. If this gets to be too complicated, feel free to take 1 or 2 steps out. You'll feel this in your chest as well, especially this part right here, or you're pressing that chest in. Flip it in. And rest. Woo! Do me a favor, drop your waist, shake out those arms. I don't care how you shake them, just get that blood flowing. All right, we're gonna slow it down and hold. All right, start palms facing in by the eyes. Hold it here. Slowly flip. Hold it here. Push it up. Hold it here. Slowly lower it down. Hold it here a second. Flip it in. Hold it here. Flip. Hold. Push. Hold. Down. Hold. Flip. Hold. Flip. Hold. Push. Hold. And rest. Woo! All right. This time we're going to speed this part up a little bit. And instead of coming all the way up, we're going to pulse it right here and then bring it back. All right, here we go. Sunglasses facing in, flip. So you're not going up as high. Pulse for 3. Flip, flip. 3, 2, 1. Flip, flip. 3, 2, 1. Flip. Oh my God. 3, 2, 1. Flip, flip. 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 And rest. Woo! That was killer, you guys. That was literally just killer. All right. This is our last move. We've got renegade rows. You can go pretty heavy for these. So we're going to do renegade rows with a push-up in between. So if you want to do your push-up without weights on your hands, that's what I prefer. Give me a push-up. Then you would grab a weight, row it up, switch again. All right, here we go. My shoulders are just dead. I can't even do that. Here we go. So knees or toes for that push-up. Row it up. Knees or toes. Row it up. Same thing for that row. If you want to be down on your knees, you can. If you want to be up on your toes for that row, you can. Totally up to you. What feels best for you today.
3, 2, 1.
Rest. All right. Round 2. We're going to bring it down in that push-up. I want you to hold it there for 3 seconds. Row, row. Bring it down 3 seconds. Row, row. So it's a little bit different than that first one. So bring it down. 3, 2, 1. Row, row. Bring it down. 3, 2, 1. Row, row. Hold it down. 3, 2, 1. I want you engaging the lats. So that means That row needs to come up high. Remember to hold it for 3. That's a row. Row. You can be on your knees or up on your toes. Rest. My arms are kind of shot, so I'm on my knees. But maybe you're doing a little better than me today. In which case, good for you. On your toes, that's great. All right, 3 pulses down for that push-up. 3, 2, 1. Row, row. 3, 2, 1. Row, row. 3, 2, 1. Row, row. Keep going. Give me that pulse if you can. So that pulse is just in the push-up, not in the row. Rest. Woo! You guys, you already made it to the core section. Woo! Woo! Squish my finger. All right. First move for core. You're going to alternate plank to side plank. You might need to give your hands a little break. Then pop it up. You can be on your elbow or up on your wrist. Regular plank. Side plank. Regular plank. Other side plank. All right, I want you rotating through. Let's go. You guys are rock stars. It's okay if you're a little faulty. Falling side to side. You're in good company, because that's what I'm doing. Maybe you're like, my wrist can't handle that. Then you're here. Same thing if you're on your elbows. Just a little less pressure on those wrists is all. Whew. Falling over. Rest. Woo! Great job. All right. This next one. Brace your core. Lift your feet up. Drop them until you feel your low back lifted. Bring the knees in. Bring them up. Drop. Knees in. Lift them up. Drop. Knees in. Lift it up. It's really important that you keep that stomach braced the whole time. That inner transverse abdominis. Once you feel like you're losing that abdominal stability or your back is starting to curve, then I just want you to bring those knees in. Start over. Whew. Rest. Bicycle crunches are next. Hands behind the head or just on the side of the head. Opposite knee, opposite elbow. Here we go. If you want to speed this up, you can, or you can keep it more strength-based and really focus on form. Do me a favor if you can. Each time that elbow comes to the knee, I want an exhale. Blow the air out of your mouth. So the inhale is that in between. So it's exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Rest. All right, Russian twist are next. Option if you want to hold a weight in your hand, you sure can. Keep it light though. Rolling back, side to side. Woo! Thin light. Come on. Row, row, row your boat. If you want to make this tougher, bring those knees up, or feet up rather. Woo! Remember, you're back onto those sits bones. You got to balance. Rest. Woo! taps are next. So you're gonna lay on your back, lift your shoulders off the mat, reach opposite or each hand to that same foot. So we're targeting those obliques here. So even though we're targeting those obliques, I still want you to focus on drawing that belly button in towards the spine. I know I'm a broken record. I keep saying the same thing over and over. The only reason I do is because it's so easy to lose that core stability when you start moving. Whew. Rest. All right, last position is boat pose. So you're gonna come onto those sits bones. Base level is here. You're sitting it back, holding onto the back of the thighs, feet are off the ground. Wanna make this a little harder? Straighten out the legs. Wanna make it a little harder again? Bring those arms out to the side. Draw that belly button in towards the spine. Make sure you're breathing. I know your lungs feel a little pinched here, right? But I still need you to draw that air in and draw that air out. It's even more important when you're doing core. Rest. You guys are a bunch of rock stars. You already made it to the cool down. Go ahead, come to just a comfortably seated position, however that looks for you. Whew. Deep inhale in, deep exhale out. Then take your hands onto your knees. Inhale in, exhale, and then round that spine. Tuck the chin. Use your hands to really feel a stretch so you're pulling against your knees. Feel a stretch through those shoulders. Deep inhale in. Deep exhale out. Bring it on up. We're going to take one arm up and over. Pull down on that elbow for that tricep stretch. Whew. It's funny, after the last couple of weeks, I'm like, gosh, my boobs, they just really hurt. Nope, it's your pectoral muscles. It's not your boobs. Oh. Go ahead, switch. I hope I'm not the only one who's ever had that thought before, though. There's probably a good chance I am. Excellent. All right. I want to stretch out those forearms. So pull back on your fingertips. Really let your wrist even come back. So sometimes you just pull back on your fingers, but I actually want you to pull back on your wrist so you can feel that through your forearm. Don't pull so hard that it's going to be painful, just enough so you feel a stretch through here. And we're going to go the other direction, even lighter on this side. You don't want to push too hard. So you're kind of pushing against the top of your hand. Go ahead, other side. So you're really more so pulling on your wrist than just your hand. I'm going to take these off so you can see my hand a little better. Okay, go ahead, push on the tops of your hand. Just push back a little bit. Excellent. All right. If you can, find like a wall, a doorway, something that you can push into. The main thing is even just a regular wall would probably work. You just want to be able to push into it and then turn away so you can feel a stretch all through your chest here. Taking time right now just to connect with your breath.
that life-giving breath flowing through you, replenishing all the cells of your body, delivering oxygenated blood to all your cells. Go ahead, release. Other side. I happen to just have a closet here, so the little door frame works great for this. Just turn away. The main thing is I want you to feel a stretch through here. Doesn't have to look exactly what I'm doing, just as long as you feel a stretch through here, through that pectoral muscle. All right, we're gonna stand up for this one. I want you to hinge it forward, grab onto the back of your thighs, and just kind of round your chest forward. You should feel a little bit of a stretch through here. Bonus, you get a little hamstring stretch out of it too. Go ahead, release. It's gonna stretch the neck out real quick before that timer goes off. Other side. And rest. All right. Don't worry, I found a much shorter devotional to read. If you need to leave before we finish the devotional, feel free. You have my permission to go. Otherwise, if you'd like to stay and hear a word from God, then feel free. I encourage it if you're able. When Jesus saw him and he knew he had been ill for a long time, he asked him, "Would you like to get well?" Jesus had such compassion for the hurting and the broken. He was tough on the religious leaders who made impossible demands of the weak, yet refused to lift a finger to help them. Jesus had spine and heart. The story in John chapter 5 takes an interesting turn. Jesus approached the man who'd been stuck on a mat for 38 years. Jesus spoke to the heart of the matter, as he always did. Follow him through the Gospels, and you'll marvel at how he addresses the heart issue with every encounter. In this instance, he asks the man, "Do you want to get well?" When you suffer a long time, you get used to it, identify with it, and lose any sense of hope or expectancy. The first 3 words out of the man's mouth were, "I can't, sir." Sometimes Jesus heals instantly, but some of us need a healing journey more than an instantaneous miracle. Jesus wanted this man to participate in his own healing process, so he told him to stand up, pick up his mat, and walk. Later on, when he saw the man again, Jesus added, "Now you are well. Stop sinning, or something worse may happen to you." This is a rare instance where Jesus was tough on the sufferer. Sometimes we need comfort, other times, correction. Have you settled for something that Jesus wants you to address? Ask him to speak to you. Let's just close in prayer here. Lord, search my heart. Bring comfort to my soul and correction to my heart where I need it. Thank you for loving me as you do. Lord, bless each and every one of us as we go forward for the rest of our days. I ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.